Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sea Stories and Disgruntlement. Today is Friday, and as always on this show and podcast, we wear red on Fridays. As you can see, I'm wearing my Never Forget red shirt from Nine Line Apparel. This shirt's only exclusive to the Patriots Club. I would give you the deets on that, but they're not a paying sponsor as of yet. Hopefully, we get them on board. It'd be great. We get some better content and things going. So, why is this shirt being worn today? Well, because today's Patriot Day. Patriot Day, not to be confused with Patriots Day. Patriots Day is celebrated for the Revolutionary War times back in up in Massachusetts area. It's where it's mostly celebrated. But Patriot Day is a annual observance on September 11th to remember those who were injured or died during the terrorist attacks in the United States on September 11, 2001. Many Americans refer to Patriot Day as 9/11 or September 11th, obviously, because it's on that date, right? So, yeah, that's what Patriot Day is. So, some of you who are watching, most of you that I see from the analytics from my podcast, analytics and YouTube, most of you are about the same age as me, if not older or a little bit younger. You were alive when September 11th occurred. I was stationed in Japan when we got news that we were being attacked. So since it was about it was about 8:45 ish when the attacks happened. But I think it was 2 o'clock and it was nighttime for us. Like it was like early morning the next day because Japan, dateline. But it was, I want to say it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning in Japan. At that time, I was doing my FSA detail, which for the Navy, if you're stationed on a ship, you got to do either work in the galley, wardroom, whatever. But since I was an HT, I was fortunate enough to be working in the wardroom on the USS Essex. I was only there for 6 months. It's a TAD thing. But that's all you're doing is assisting the cooks with all the stuff. So I was on Liberty that day. We were in Port Japan. And I was in my racks. I was sleeping. And all of a sudden, lights come on. It said, everyone's got to muster with their divisions as quick as possible. Said, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? All right, so we all get dressed. I don't go to my shop. I go up to the wardroom where we muster and take roll and all that stuff. And when I saw on the screen, I thought it was a movie. I didn't think it was actual news. I thought, because we were in Japan, we had AFN out there. We didn't have like CNN and all this other stuff, but AFN was playing feed from CSN's account or whatever it was. It was CNN. I mean, that's probably the only one that they had for at that time for the licensing agreement for whatever. But that's what we saw, and I didn't think it was real at first. I'm like, why are we watching this movie? What's going on? And all of a sudden, another plane hit. So what I was watching was the first plane hitting. It was a replay of that, and then not but a little bit later, the second plane hit, and that's what I was watching on TV. I actually saw the second plane hit on TV, and then we're sitting up there, waiting for everyone to muster, make sure everyone's okay. No one, like, we were told to, like, okay, you're good, just stand by, go hit your racks if you want, but no one did. Everyone stayed in the office because most of the people I was stationed there with were from the East Coast. A couple of them were from New York, and most of us were from the East Coast. Nobody was really from west of the Mississippi. A buddy of mine, he was a cook, and he worked in the wardroom. He's a great dude. The reason why he was in the wardroom because he was badass at his job. That's the only reason why you get to work in the wardroom. Yeah, making better food. Uh, it's true. I mean, officers get fed better food or better preparation anyway. But he was from Brooklyn, and he said, "I think I have family that works in that building." Wasn't sure. It's like, yo, you got to tell somebody, man. Like, if it's your family, fucking tell somebody. So he went to go talk to our officer in charge, and she told him, "Hey, stay right here right now. I'll let them know, our chain of command know what's going on." So it wasn't but like 5 minutes later, the command master chief called everybody to the office for his office. So uh, luckily, none of his family members were in New York at that time. They were on vacation doing something for the family. I think someone went to college or something was going on. I forget what it was, but he said none of his family members were there that day. So that's always, but that wasn't the case for some of the crew members on board. Uh, One or two of them had family members that were injured. I think I don't think anyone died that I know of. At least at my first command. That's when everything happened and didn't really know what was really going on. But then it was probably I forget how long each incident happened, but it said the news came out and said there was an attack at the Pentagon. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So no one knows what the hell is going on. The base is on full lockdown. The only people getting on in base were people stationed on ships and worked on base. Uh, so that was the only people allowed in. No one was getting out. Like none one was leaving. No one was going anywhere. So there you have it. That was pretty shitty. Uh, so we stayed up all through the morning, ate breakfast, did our daily routine, which we're always cleaning before because we muster early because of breakfast and everything, and then we muster in the office. But since I'm not part of the galley, like I don't do any of the food prep or serving. I was maintenance guy, fixing stuff in the wardrooms and their officers' heads and stuff. And the CO called me about something with his shower uh, at his import cabin, which it's pretty much like a 2-bedroom apartment on a bigger ship. He calls me to his import cabin and he says, HTFN or Fireman Jane Innig, you can come in there, check this out, whatever. There's nothing wrong with this shower. He asked me, he's like, I know you're from the East Coast. And I was like, sir, I got family that live close to there, but not in the city. He's like, you need to reach out to your family. You can do it for my cabin. And I was like, sir, I know everyone's fine. Uh, no one works in the city. They're like, no one's. And I found out through him that a plane crashed in Pennsylvania. I was like, holy shit. Okay. All right. Now I'm concerned. You know what I mean? You don't think about it because he didn't say where. He didn't know where. Uh, I mean, I'm sure it was. I don't remember the broadcast of the Pennsylvania when the plane crashed in Pennsylvania that didn't destroy anything. It was the people on board stopped the hijackers and plane went down. Right, and that's what I knew. He said happened, but he didn't say. He said the plane went down, but it wasn't until later that there was a video and they made a movie about it. It was out towards it's closer to Pittsburgh than on like this side. I'm live close to New Jersey, so when I found that out, I was like, oh shit, I gotta call my folks. Uh, so I told them, I was like, hey, everyone okay? They're like, yeah, nothing's. They asked me how I was doing. I said I'm good. Uh, Base is on lockdown. You know, I told them I had to like be in the shop at like hours before I was normally supposed to be woken up, and they're like, as long as everything's good on base or whatever. So they were fine. Uh, Folks were nowhere near ain't really where they live. Well, where the house is nowhere near. It's like hours away from where that crash is. So told the CEO everyone's healthy. Not crash wasn't near them. So he's like, okay. So now knowing that the CEO know who I was kind of like, yeah, the CEO knows who I am. That's awesome. Means I can't fuck up either because he knows who I am. He'd be like, "What the hell's wrong with you, stupid?" You know what I mean? But I remember our first underway after the attacks. We were going to Australia, and if you guys have listened to the show before, you know that Australia is one of my favorite places to go. So we're going to Australia. We're going to Darwin, Australia, which is one of the northern towns in Australia. It's a small little backpacking town. It's not near a big city at all. I mean, most of the cities are pretty spread out anyway in that country. Uh, so we're in Darwin, and they didn't know how to do overnight liberty uh, or anything like that. So what they did, uh, they gave everyone overnight um, for certain people, and we were told uh, you guys can have over like before we left our because being TAD everything we're gonna put a schedule out and you have to be here to serve food for the officers that are on duty. Blah 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 blah. Said okay, not a problem. I did we being maintenance. I never had to do duty like serve food whatever. The cooks usually stayed behind. I since I was never part of the galley, they never scheduled me to do stuff import except for fixing heads and showers and TVs whatever stuff, welding and plumbing and stuff. So uh, I worked the first night and I was a server. No big deal. But the next 3 days we were there, me and a buddy, we got this apartment slash hotel place in Darwin. It's like a backpacker town, so it already had like a furnished hotel. It could have been an apartment building, but whatever. Since it is a backpacking town, these places are all over. They have a they have a full blown living room, bedrooms up to yin yang. It was pretty cool. So me and my friend, we get there, we check in, uh, put our bags in our room, and we say, "Hey, we noticed you had a grill here. Can anyone use it?" The manager was like, "Absolutely. Just make sure you clean up your mess and make sure the charcoals are out before you go to your rooms." I said, "Awesome. Well, we can do that." So we go to the grocery store, which is literally right across the street from the place, and we got charcoal, we got chicken steaks, we got cases of beer, other snacks and stuff because we really didn't want to go anywhere that first night. But yeah, I don't think we went in. We just slept in our rooms that night after being drunk and shit. But what I'm getting at is we're sitting on the deck of the pool or drinking whatever, hanging out. We're gonna start know people coming out of the rooms, just hanging out, like college kids about the same age as us, but they were Australian. I think one group of girls from New Zealand. That it was pretty much we turned it into a party. I don't know how we did it, but there was people that weren't staying there were a part of this, which was great. I loved it. So, uh, but one of the as we're sitting there eating because we made steaks and chicken for everybody. Like we bought so much stuff we just cooked it all, which was fine. I mean, we could always go to the grocery store and get more stuff. Uh, as we're sitting there eating, everyone but me and my buddy uh, stood up, and I'm looking. I'm like, Terrence, what's going on? And he was my buddy. He was my best friend. Lost somewhat of contact with him, but we are talking. I'm like, hey, dude, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I don't know. All of a sudden, the people start saying, you know, if you guys need anything from Australia, we got America's back. But I was like, whoa, dude, we're cool. And he's like, we appreciate you cooking for us and giving us your beer, but we're gonna return the favor. So as we, they all got rooms because there was a bunch of open rooms. The people who stayed there with a barbecue, stayed with us that night. Some stayed in our rooms. We always had they became adjoining rooms. We pretty much had a whole floor open to ourselves with the adjoining doors, which we left open, which was pretty amazing. Uh, Nothing really happened that I can remember, uh, violence wise or stealing or theft or anything like that. It was pretty cool. But any place we went in Australia, I think it was like October, November time. It was November, I think, and there our winters is Australia's summer, so it was nice and warm when we were there. The very next day, we're just walking around getting some. We're gonna get some breakfast, and man, you wouldn't believe the amount of patriotism show that like flew everywhere in Australia. American flags everywhere. Uh, if if everyone was part of the Gulf War, can remember the people putting yellow ribbons on trees and stuff. That was uh that was just showing support for you know us guys, the military. That's what the big forefront was Bush coming on the TV and saying, "Hey, this is what's going to happen. We're going to meet these guys with full force." Blah 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 blah. But seeing the amount of patriotism coming out of a country that is thousands of miles away from us show, has shown more patriotism that I can think of in that little small town. That small town probably has the same population as there's probably maybe 100,000, maybe. It was a small town, but it's like the fourth. It was like the Fourth of July there, but better. I don't know what is with Australian folks in America, but they love us. You will never find more passionate people about their own culture, their own background, and things that they support of. But they love Americans. They just do. It's I would say it's mind blowing, but I mean, culture shock is a term that is used to this. I would say describe that, but it's really cool knowing that support. But what really sucked was having our base locked down, and for the family members who had got married guys or women having their spouses that couldn't even get inside the gate to the base to see their loved ones. Where that was the roughest part. And Japanese people, we can if you guys are into protesting, you need to take a book out of the Japanese the way they protest. They don't destroy anything. They'll stand there and do their protest for days on end. Same crowd, same size crowd, and they're committed. But they're not marching anywhere. They'll take up a whole sidewalk or block the gates. But when this shit happened, oh, there was a lot of Japanese folks standing in front of the gate because no one was getting in or on or off. Uh, and all it was saying was, we support you, we're here for you, blah 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 blah. That was awesome as well. Our home port, because Japanese it's 50-50 when it comes to Japanese, since we dropped two nukes on them. So to see that, have a country back you up, even if it's just, hey, you're going to get some chicken or some food from this restaurant. Some of the people come up and hug us. We had this one bar I told you guys before. It's called the HT bar. It was called our bar, and we like the owner knew everybody, knew where they're from, and uh, made sure they were okay. There's a lot of times he let us use his phone to call home. So he had a phone in his bar, and we didn't have to pay anything for it. He said, "Hey, when's the last time you talked to your folks back home?" If you didn't talk to them in a while, he'd say, "Hey, call your folks." So it was really cool to experience that on that part, to see that people who aren't from the United States, how much love they had for us, especially in that time. Uh, yeah, man, that was, and every day, every September 11th since, we've been celebrating this. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out when this was started, and I could be wrong. Let's see. It looks like this started in 2002. So 2002 is when Patriot Day started. Not Patriots Day, Patriot Day. And I don't know if you ever seen it on the news, but they show the families who've lost somebody read their names. Uh, I can, you can feel the hurt that these families went through. Uh, Especially just regular human beings, not serving as a police officer, a firefighter, or even a military member. You understand when a military member passes away. The family's seen it a bunch of times. It's what they see on TV, but to see just regular human beings that aren't engaged in something dangerous like combat or being a police officer or a firefighter, or even an EMT, you don't see those deaths as much. So when it happens, and that amount, a number, what was it? I want to say it's like 3,000 people. I could be wrong. Please forgive me. Let's see. Uh, I don't remember the amount of people passing away. I'm such an asshole. But I want to say thousands of people that. Oh, there we go. Nearly 3,000 people died in the attacks. So that's, I mean, I was right on the number there. 3,000. Nearly 3,000 deaths. And that's just, there's some police officers, there's some firefighters in there, some EMTs in there, but majority of those people were just regular, everyday civilians, just going to work, putting in, punching in, doing whatever their job was. There's never been anything in American history uh, that was there was that many deaths on American soil. And George Bush was, oh, let's just say George W. Bush, not H.W. Bush. H.W. Bush was way better. But he had a tough time as president during that. And that's why he was in office for 2 years, because he was the president during 9/11. But uh, the year after, that was the quickest thing that ever turned around to become a national observance day. It's not really a holiday, it's just an observance day. Kind of with December 7th getting involved, or that's VE Day. I could be wrong. My mind's so fucked up right now. I'm sorry. Uh, September 11th, December 7th, November 11th, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and yeah, I mean, they're just observance days. I mean, some people take advantage of it and use it as something, whatever. This is just, hey, remember what happened and never forget the folks that perished in these horrible, horrible attacks on our soil. There's never been anything in the America's history where someone or a group of people have killed that many folks, U.S. folks, on American soil. And I'm almost guaranteed that it's not 100% American. They're not 100% Americans, because there's a lot of people who work in New York and are legal citizens, but came from a different country. So they're not 100% American. They immigrated properly. They did all the stuff they had to do, and they probably perished as well. They're still Americans, but they're not just killing those. So yeah, I mean, this was kind of, I was excited to do this just because, tell my side, where I was. And the reason I bring it up is because when my explosion happened, I was right near New York. You can see the lower side of Manhattan. You can see the Freedom Tower from our pier in New Jersey. You can see the pier. You can see the Verrazano Bridge. You can see the building. You can see most of New York. You can see all of Brooklyn just from the pier. So when the explosion happened, they're like, "Oh shit, what the fuck's going on?" Like I said before, all the helicopters everywhere, they're thinking something else. We're being attacked again. So that's what sticks out in my mind with September 11th. And if you've never been to Freedom Tower and you think it's not for you, um, I say go. Just go. You don't have to stand. You don't have to go inside the tower. Go to the fountains and just think about the families who lost somebody. You go there around the fountains, you'll see names of all the names that were in that building are on. It's around the fountain. There's names uh, cut out on the steel there. That says the name of the person, and yeah, it's on each. I think the names go for each building. It's pretty big fountains, so check that out. Once in your life, just go. It's like going to Arlington National Cemetery, where the tomb of the unknown soldier is. See, that's you go there for once in a lifetime experience, just to say you've been there, just to pay some honor back to the folks who did, pay some respects to those who had nothing to do with anything. They were just there, wrong place, wrong time. I know it went kind of south, but at the same time, this isn't a holiday. This is something that we went through as a country, and we never forget. Never forget today at all. This is the worst thing that happened in American history. None of the other political bullshit. We were attacked. People died who didn't deserve to die. That's why we remember and observe September 11th. Thank you very much. On a lighter note, I'm still looking for some guests. Hopefully, I get some people from the Army and Marines and the Air Force to be a guest on my show, just so I can get an insight, and you guys can get an insight as well as to what their job was in said branch. We already went over a bunch of Navy folks. I want to get a different blend of services so we can better inform you guys. This is what this show's for you guys. Do this for you so you have some common knowledge of what military does. And I hope you enjoy the show. Click the link or the button up here to subscribe, and I'll have another Red Friday video up here. Be sure to check them out. Share with your friends, your family, relatives, or whatnot. Even have them, if they're a veteran or are they're serving, give them my email. I'll put that in the description below. I'll also have it in the videos here. I'll probably have it underneath here in the bottom when I do so. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Next week, if I don't have a guest, I'll still be on. We'll talk about another sea story, maybe. I'm working on some bonus stuff. So if you haven't subscribed to me and you listen to podcasts, okay, go to anchor.fm, type in Sea Stories and Disgruntlement. And if you want to hear bonus material, become a subscriber to that page at anchor.fm. It's a free app to use. You can listen to podcasts there for free. Find mine, and if you want some bonus material, some not safe for work sea stories, true sea stories. That's all going to be bonus content. So go to anchor.fm, type in See Stories and Disgruntlement and become a supporting member of that podcast or that on my podcast, and you'll get some bonus material. Also, still talking about the 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'll pick 5 names out of those 1,000 subscribers to receive a my personal challenge coin that I had made when I was active duty. I only had 200 made. I should have about 5 left. I should have about 8 left. I'm sorry. I have about 8 left. And get your friends to subscribe if you want a coin. Let's get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and you could have a coin. All right. So thank you everybody for watching. I know it went a little bit long, but hey, it's Patriot Day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Signing off. See you later. Take it easy.